Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clive Edwards. I'm Chair of Governors and Pro-Chancellor at this university. Welcome to Edge Hill. I hope you're going to enjoy the ceremony. And it's my duty now to declare that this congregation for the conferment of degrees is open.
Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Pro-Vice-Chancellors, graduands, and our very special guests. A warm welcome to Edge Hill University and to this graduation ceremony on what is a hugely important day. And it's my great pleasure to give the opening address at this celebration of the achievements of you, our graduands. I want to begin by talking about some firsts and lasts, some beginnings and ends. I am honoured to be here at my first Edge Hill graduation ceremony. You, our graduands, are here because this very special occasion is a celebration of the end of this chapter of your studies. Your last assignments passed, you have successfully reached the end of this phase of your study, and you look forward to a new beginning and a new and exciting phase of your lives and careers. But I want to recall another beginning. The opening in 1885, not far from here in Liverpool, of the first non-denominational teacher training college for women in the UK. This later became, of course, our university, Edge Hill, and a move to this stunning campus. And just a few years prior to this, in 1837, a man was, like you today, graduating, having ended his own studies at Harvard University in the US. He had his own new beginning too, taking a job as a teacher in a local school. And his name was Henry David Thoreau, well known now as one of America's most celebrated writers and thinkers. In his most famous book, Walden, Thoreau reflects on a time in his life just after his own graduation, a time he called his experiment in living. His experiment was a kind of giving account of himself, a time to show the world who he was, what he stood for, and how he wanted to live. And he wrote this: I learned this at least by my experiments, that if we advance confidently in the direction of our dreams and endeavour to live the life which we have imagined, we will meet with unexpected success. I cannot imagine a better statement with which to leave you, our graduands, today. The Book of Walden, though, is not a survival guide or a self-help manual to a successful life, but it's rather a book that lays down an important challenge to each of us to pursue our own experiments in living. And perhaps this hugely rich and evocative work can tell us three things. First, the importance of doing good work well. Thoreau recalls undertaking many different kinds of work. He was the town surveyor, a farmer, an essayist, but he started out working in his father's pencil factory. But whatever he did, whether mundane or groundbreaking, he committed to doing it well. The second thing that I think his book tells us is the importance of community. Thoreau recognized that his own life was inextricably bound with that of his community. He once famously said this: "I had 3 chairs in my hut, 1 for solitude, 2 for friendship, but 3 for society." And the third thing that I take from his book is about standing up for what you believe in. Thoreau tells the story of how his neighbours criticised his way of life. But it was by working out what counted for him that he said he came to know how he stood in the world. And perhaps the most famous example of his living out the values he espoused was that he spent a night in jail, reported in his essay Civil Disobedience, for refusing to pay a tax on the grounds that it might be used to pay for slavery or the Mexican-American War, which he opposed. So as you look back on all that you have achieved here at Edge Hill, and also look forward to what will be the next stage of your lives and careers, remember the value of doing good work well, of gaining the support of and supporting your community, and of standing up for the things in which you believe. Your journey to this point today will have been one marked by significant hard work, balancing commitments and deadlines, taking on new ideas, and challenging your preconceptions. But it will also have been marked by the constant love and support of these wonderful people, your family and friends and supporters who have travelled this journey with you and are here to celebrate with you today. You all will have achieved what you sometimes thought impossible, and along the way made those extra special friendships that will last a lifetime. You are simply not the same people that you were when you began this journey, because education is truly transformational. This graduation marks the end of one journey, but it's also the beginning of another. It's not the end of your learning. You will continue to learn every day as you draw on the experiences here and make an impact in your workplaces and your communities. And when you want to continue your formal learning through postgraduate or research degree study or through further professional development, we will be here to welcome you again to start a new journey. You are, and always will be, an Edge Hill graduate. That is something of which to be extremely proud, just as we are proud of you. So as you graduate today, I leave you with Thoreau's challenge. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Endeavour to live the life that you have imagined, and may you meet with success in all that you do. Thank you.
Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor. Brenda Hale, the Baroness Hale of Richmond, is probably most famous for being the first female president of the UK Supreme Court. She holds this post at a very significant moment in history, in which 2018 marked 100 years since some women were given the vote, and this year, 100 years since women could first become professional lawyers. However, beyond this headline, we find a life and a career of firsts and seconds, without always having a clear plan or direction. She says, "I do as well as I can at what I am currently doing, and I don't say no if other opportunities present themselves." Even citing an accident of history that she holds this role, as the retirement age for her predecessor and all successors will be 70. Lady Hale grew up near Richmond, North Yorkshire, the second of 3 sisters and the daughter of teachers. She spent her early childhood living in the boarding house of a boys' grammar school where her father was headmaster. Taking the 11 plus a year early, she attended a small girls' grammar school in Richmond and was one of the first from there to go to Cambridge University and to read law, one of a small and select group of women at that time. The daughter of parents who inspired her through their determined desire for a good education for their children, and where she remembers that conversation around the tea table was challenging and thought-provoking. She cites her own mother's response to her father's unexpected death as a key influence in her life, noting the bravery and determination of her mother in seizing hold of the moment, returning to work, and using her teaching qualification to become a head teacher. Her actions thus enable Lady Hale and her sisters to continue their own education journey. And so, the story of firsts and seconds begin. While recognising the importance of firsts, and she is well known for these, Lady Hale firmly believes in the significance of being second, where someone else has blazed a trail, and she is grateful to the person who has been first, giving her the opportunity to be next. Unlike almost everyone in her field, her career began in academia at the University of Manchester Faculty of Law as a junior lecturer. While teaching, she qualified and practiced as a barrister for a while before devoting herself to academia, publishing on family law, mental health law, and women and law. These books broke new ground, sending strong messages about Lady Hale's passions and priorities, and led to the development of her public career, illustrating an alternative journey into the judiciary. The first continued when in 1984 she was the first woman and youngest person ever to be appointed to the Law Commission, spending 9 years redefining the face of family law, developing fundamental and long-standing legislation such as the Children Act, Family Law Act, and Mental Capacity Act, laws which to this day underpin all our lives. 1994 saw her appointed a High Court judge, and here we see another first, the first to have made her career as an academic and public servant, rather than as a practicing barrister. She went on to become the second woman ever to be appointed to the Court of Appeal, and then the first and only female law lord, before the law lords were translated into justices of the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom in 2009. Lady Hale's decisions as a judge reflect her strong beliefs in equality and diversity. She has been instrumental in key decisions which have, for example, expanded the definition of domestic violence and paved the way for understanding which prevails today, as well as ensuring that the individual interests of children have become more prominent in official decision-making. She is most proud of these achievements. These landmark moments, as with many others, are reflected in the view from the Fawcett Society that her judgments often reflect a true understanding of women's lives and the violence and discrimination they experience. On her appointment as President of the Supreme Court in 2017, there were many well-publicised accolades and tributes. The previous president, Lloyd Neuberger, said, "I have seen at first hand the intellect and humanity with which she approaches the appeals which come before her. To become president is a fitting pinnacle to a truly groundbreaking career." However, Lady Hale's actions were sometimes also seen as controversial in the corridors of justice. On some occasions, she has been critical of a judiciary which has been mainly male and overwhelmingly white, as well as largely the product of a limited range of educational institutions and social backgrounds. In her home life, her husband, Dr. Julian Farrand, here with us today, refers to the Brenda agenda. But what is this agenda in public office? It is an unstinting focus on equality and diversity, passionate about rights issues relating to race, disability, sexual orientation, children and women. This gives us a senior figure who has systematically paved the way for and significantly influenced cultural change within the UK judicial system. Fundamental to her practice is a belief that good humour is good for the court, and the importance of doing things seriously but not too solemnly. She has been described as a beacon and an icon, with a well-deserved rock star status in the legal world. This can be seen in a fleeting appearance on MasterChef in 2018, celebrating 1 year, 100 years of suffrage, featuring in the Vogue 25, an international list of 25 women shaping 2018, and earlier this year, a double-page spread in the February edition of Vogue. Something most of us could only dream of. However, it is how Lady Hale uses this platform which is most important. Her humility facilitates the use of this status for continued awareness raising about the role of the Supreme Court and the foregrounding of issues of equality, while also offering us an inspirational role model. Beyond the nationally and internationally recognised events, she can often be found very quietly visiting universities and other organisations, talking about her journey, offering an outstanding example to the next generation of children and young people who are thinking about their lives and their future job prospects. She describes herself as an ordinary woman who enjoys all the usual pleasures, including her 4 children and 7 grandchildren, the theatre, and a good social life. Being ordinary is important to her, and this influences her running of the court and her approach to individuals whose lives she touches. This ordinary lady's extraordinary career and her core values chime entirely with the vision and history of Edge Hill University, where a belief in access and achievement for all are core to our values and mission. It is certain that in this stellar career, many thanks to her open and frank dialogue around women, many doors have been opened to other women in her wake, and through her actions and her words, she has changed the face of the legal profession, a legacy which I know will last forever. Vice-Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, graduands, colleagues and guests, it is my great privilege to present Lady Hale, Brenda, for the award of the Honorary Doctors of Law.
By the authority vested in me as the Vice-Chancellor of Edge Hill University, I have the great privilege of conferring the award of Honorary Doctor of Laws upon the Right Honourable the Baroness Hale of Richmond, DBE. Congratulations.
Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, other senior members of the university, fellow graduands, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great day, isn't it? Well, it's a great day for me too. And I expect that some of you up there thought you'd never get here. Well, that's the same for me too. You must all have heard the old saying that behind every successful man there stands a surprised woman. Indeed, sometimes two. In the case of a successful woman, the surprised woman is right inside her. I was surprised when I passed the 11 plus at the age of 10, as you have heard, and went to Richmond High School for Girls, the real Richmond, just over the Pennines from here, not the copies that there are all over the world in other places. I was surprised when I was accepted by Girton College, Cambridge, to read law, and I was astonished when I got a good enough degree to go on to a career in university teaching. I know this university was a pioneer in women's education from as long ago as 1885, and that among your alumni is no less than Helena Normanton, who was the first woman to join an Inn of Court, managing to do so on the very day that the Sex Disqualification Removal Act 1919 got the royal assent. She wasn't exactly the first to qualify as a barrister, but we'll pass over that. She was the first to practice as a barrister, and she was one of the first 2 women to become King's Counsel in 1949, with Rose Heilbronn, our very own Liverpudlian star advocate. So it's wonderful to be here, but we mustn't forget what a struggle it was until quite recently. When I went up to university in 1963, as you've heard, it was only 45 years since some women got the right to vote. It was only 44 years since women got the right to enter the legal profession and eventually to become judges. It was only 15 years after my university allowed women to take degrees. Imagine that. Before that, they could take the exams, they could learn their results, and they had to call themselves BA, open brackets, tit, close brackets. Can you just not imagine all those elderly Cambridge dons going along year after year to vote against women getting degrees so that they would have to humiliate themselves by calling themselves BA tit? It did, of course, stand for titular, not what you're thinking, but there we go. And in 1963, it was only 1 year since the first woman was appointed a full-time judge in the ordinary courts. So the height of my ambition when I went to Cambridge was to become the first woman articled clerk in our local firm of solicitors in Richmond. I sometimes think possibly a harder achievement than to become the first woman law lord. And when I said that in a Richmond do not so very long ago, the chap who was the articled clerk when I was interning there said, "Indubitably, madam, indubitably." So there we are. There were only 6 women reading law in my year, but the university raised my sights, as I hope it has raised yours. If men could do great things, why couldn't we? Those were the heady days of the 1960s when women were just beginning to realize that getting the vote was not enough. We had to get out there and fight for equality. But at your stage, it never crossed my mind that I might become any sort of judge. So I was flabbergasted when it happened, and I still don't quite know how it happened. It arose out of academic entrepreneurship. The academics in the room will know that as an academic, you have to get your own show on the road. You have to be creative and adventurous. Well, I've had a lot to do with social workers and social welfare law. As you've heard, I wrote a book on mental health law, and that got me my first judicial job. In mental health review tribunals, deciding whether patients should continue to be detained in hospitals. I founded a learned journal on social welfare law, which led to my appointment to the Council on Tribunals, a quango which supervised the multitude of administrative tribunals. I wrote a big book on family law, which led to my appointment as a law commissioner. And in time, all of those led to the High Court bench and upwards. Things have changed a very great deal in the legal profession and in the judiciary in the course of my professional life. In 2017, for example, we doubled the number of women on the Supreme Court from 1 to 2. Just shows statistics never tell you the whole story, do they? And last year we added a third, and so now there are 3 of us, and we make up a quarter in the Supreme Court and all the higher courts in this country. Not nearly enough, but a lot better than it was until very recently. So the moral of my story is that in a rapidly changing world, we must expect the unexpected. Anything may happen. We must be flexible and determined. We must be ready to grasp the exciting opportunities which come our way, no matter how daunting they may seem. We must not be downhearted when things go wrong, but try again. The great thing about a university education is that it gives us the tools to do this. It gives us the habits of curiosity, of thinking for ourselves, of fair-minded evaluation of the evidence, of respect for the truth, and of making ourselves work hard, at least when we need to do so. But it gives us much more than that. The opportunity of meeting interesting people from many different places, races and cultures, the values of understanding, of tolerance for other people's points of view, of respect for the diversity of humanity. But I hope, and I'm addressing myself to the graduates here, I hope you've all had a lot of fun too. It may be your last opportunity, you never know. But as well as yourselves, there are two other groups of people in this hall who deserve our congratulations and our thanks. The university staff, without whose inspiration and encouragement you wouldn't be here, and your families and friends, whose help and support has been so vital for you, as I know mine has been throughout my career. So I am proud to be graduating along with all of you from such a new university, but one with a long history, which has such a proud record in teaching excellence, in looking after its students, in its students' accommodation and safety, and this glorious campus on which you have been able to have the fun I was talking about, as well as doing the hard work. And even I can reconcile myself to having robes which echo the suffragette colours of purple, green, and white. Very appropriate indeed. So thank you all very much indeed for the honour that you have done me. I am most grateful, and I assure you that I am thoroughly enjoying myself, as I hope the rest of you do for the rest of the day. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Each year, working in partnership with the university, the Students' Union invites nominations from our students to recognise those staff from both academic and non-academic areas who have made the greatest difference to their time at university. During this process, the Students' Union receive hundreds of nominations from students wishing to recognise the impact that the university's staff have had on them. And this year is no exception. However, from hundreds of nominations received, just 10 awards are made, and we're delighted to recognise the contribution of these exceptional colleagues throughout the degree ceremonies this week. And I'd like to invite the Vice President Academic Representation, Molly Smallwood, to present the award this morning. This award recognises a colleague who has made an outstanding contribution to teaching. Of this colleague, our students said, "This teacher has aided my learning massively with her amazing compassion to understand an individual. Her capacity to still be the most joyful person to brighten many students' day, her outstanding contribution and personality mixed together has made learning engaging. Pedagogically, the module co-organised and arranged would seem dissonant, yet, on the contrary, it was very much the opposite. Alana and Anita are running the Learning Together module for third years on a single honours or joint criminology degree. While studying on a Learning Together module with learners from Her Majesty's Prison Thorn Cross, we have learned so much with regards to semiology and our society. Anita and Alana have been huge inspirations to both Edgehill learners and Thorn Cross learners. The amount of work that has clearly gone into creating the module to such a high standard, allowing two groups of very different people to learn together and create friendships within the classroom is outstanding. Many prisoners have written a few notes to show their appreciation for Alana and Anita as well. They've said, "You're both amazing. Your attention to detail and breadth of knowledge impresses me. To have created and delivered a course that allows me and fellow prisoners to feel valued as a learner rather than a prisoner. And from one, I've been in jail for over a decade with a very strong mindset, and I've had a relook at my life. Instead of being a career criminal, I intend to do more charity work once I'm released next year." Some of the Edgehill students have also said, "Not only has Learning Together been one of the best experiences of my life, but of my whole education. I cannot thank Alana and Anita enough. The module was beyond what I was expecting. Alana and Anita ensured that the sessions ran smoothly. I will never be able to thank them enough for this opportunity." At the end of the module, we had a graduation ceremony, which was lovely for all the families of both Thorn Cross learners and Edgehill learners. This was a lovely way to say goodbye and celebrate our achievement. On a final note, many of the Thorn Cross learners have decided to apply for university following the module. Anita and Alon have been the best module tutors for the Learning Together module for third years from the Criminology department. Not only have they brilliantly organised the whole module and reading booklet, they enabled Edge Hill students and Thorncross learners to really think about the wider world issues that affect us every day. And more importantly, they gave us this great life experience of meeting amazing people and being able just to talk without placing any barriers amongst us. Anita and Alana have really made my learning journey the best journey I will never forget. They are both just truly amazing and a wonderful duo. The award for outstanding contribution to teaching goes to Anita Hobson from the Faculty of Arts and Sciences.
Vice-Chancellor, on behalf of Academic Board, I present students who are candidates for awards today. For defending a doctoral thesis entitled An Investigation of Everyday Morality and Antisocial Behavior, I present Jan Adams. For defending a doctoral thesis entitled Gender Responsivity in a Women's Centre, Post-Release Experiences After the Corsten Report 2007, I present Helen Susan Elfleet. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Criminology, Sarah Ann Adams. Deborah Adetoisi Olamide Adewale. Olivia Emily Atherton. Lucy Ann Barker. Katie Jane Beals. Georgia Louise Bennett. Sean Michael Anthony Bergen. Sean Michael Bull. Hannah Megan Clark. Grace Abigail Connor. Alicia May Dunleavy. Cameron Thomas Dooley. Ella Gamble. Emily Jane Hamer. Courtney Hope. Corey Daniel Hughes. Layla Joanna Iftikhar. Hassan Habib Ahmed Iqbal. Emma Lillian Jeffrey. Chloe Louise Langridge. Sophie Thalia Luton. Catherine Eloise Lomas. Carrie-Anne Lomax Haslam. Christy Ann McIsaac. Jenna Erin Allison Masson. Emily Louise McArdle. Caitlin Elizabeth McGreary. Stephanie Jade Nuttall. Liam Charlie Platts. Charlie Ramsden. Nicole Jade Rigney. Rianne Tamara Ritchie. Becky Alice Shaw. Georgia Annie Smith. Kaylee Jade Smith Egan. Ben Stanford. Amelia Margaret Sumner. Adam Mark Teese. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Criminology and Law, Emily Rose Armstrong. Matilda Louise Bear Clark. Mary Lou Fazakali. Caitlin Bailey Govan. Emma Jane Sefton. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Criminology and Psychology, Bethany Jane Battersby. Abby Marie Jones. Ellen Alice McLaughlin. Ellie Shawcross. Jessica Stanistreet. Jade Natasha Strong. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Criminology and Sociology, Katie Samantha Anderton. Emma Eleanor Dice. Paulina Sylvia Gallus. Chloe Elizabeth Gelston. Peter Colin Andrew Hutchian. Charlotte Kate Kenner. Alicia Jane Moss. Charlotte Louise Statziker. Bryony Louise Taylor. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Policing, Norbert Babel. Jessica Corley. Thomas Allen Cullen. Leon Richard Gallagher. Hayley Dawn Jago. Lauren Ann Miller. Ethan James Molnar. Ethan Thomas Odiemski. Ellis Hendy Rowe. Ellen Angela Ryan Devon. Joseph James Swift. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Stephanie Booth. Michaela May Brash. Zoe Croft. Emily Elliott. Cherish Taylor Ellis. Robbie Steph Feeney. Alexander Thor Stephen Fry. Olivia Eddie Gatfield. Harry William Andrew Grayles. Charlotte Harrison. Chloe Elizabeth Helsby. Ellen Jane Higgins. Bethany Jade Hill. Samantha Rose Holding. Jessica Mary Houghton. Christina Joy Hunt. Lucy Ann Hurley. Christina Marcia Johnson. Robin Lee Johnson. Ashley James William Johnston. Beth Alexandra Jones. Chloe Louise Killalay. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidate has been awarded the University Scholarship this year. Ellis May Kindred. Charles Edward Lavelle. Courtney Marie Lewis. Rianne Beth McCarty. Kane Ian Joseph McGrath. Neshmia Hazel Malapo. Jordan Paul Maudsley. Nicole Marie McCarthy. Wesley Jordan McEwen. Declan McGranahan. Sarah Louise Morgan. Derienne Ashley Moss. Gemma Elizabeth Mulhern. Mwiche Nachembe. Jessica Nina Pearson. Catherine Lauren Porter. Mia Ruby Postlethwaite. Louise Rihanna Prescott. Aaron Proudlock. Rowena Pye from Oldham. Ella Lily Ralph. Katie Annie Sal. Joshua Timothy Owen Saunders. Lydia Ray Sibley. Danielle Nicole Stevens Green. Nathan Robert Stott. Melissa Jennifer Tennant. Sophie Jane Timms. Katharina Trowell. Molly Ann Turrell. Alex Sophie Wathen. Gemma Whatmo. Katie Williams. Rebecca Emily Wood. Taylor Wright.
Bachelor of Laws with Honours in Law with Criminology, Chloe Louise Barr. Rhiannon Jade Bennett. Elisha Bethel. Andrew Stephen Byram. Quiver Elaine Captain. Lauren Jane Cave. Sean Christopher Cowell. Antonia Davitt. Abigail Jane Henry. Malro Rennell Irvin. Nadia Fatima Khan. Samin Latif. Kirsty Linforth. Zoe McConville. Charlotte Amy Murgatroyd. Laura Jane North. Megan Kate Pollitt. Jessica Elizabeth Shearer. Danielle Louise Shorrock. Eleanor Simpson Williams. Daria Silvia Ciocalo. Bachelor of Laws, Molly Louise Gibson. Bethany Jane Nash. For defending a doctoral thesis entitled The Effects of Stereotype Threat on Foreign Language Performance through the Mediating Roles of Self-Efficacy and Anxiety, I present Gulsa Kutuk. Master of Arts Education, Jennifer Sarah Card. William Lawrence Carter. Leanne Chartier. Andrew James Griffiths. Jonathan C. Hong Luong Davis. Madhu Gustav Madhu. Sishan Nabi. Emma Southern. Lindsay K. Wicks. Master of Arts Education, Educational Leadership, Gregory Edwards. Master of Arts Education, Inclusion and Special Educational Needs, Elliot Dean Cox. Master of Arts Education, Music, Rochelle Elizabeth Harris. Master of Arts, Specialist Primary Mathematics Practice, Emily Kate Smitten. Emily Sarah Spence. Postgraduate Certificate Education, Dyscalculia, Caroline Andrews. Diane Kirk. Postgraduate Certificate in Special Educational Needs, Senko Award, Andrea Claire Ashcroft. Joanne Brooke. Heidi Bryan. Paula Michelle Burgess. Hannah Louise Cooper. Angela Louise Coxon. Katie Elizabeth Fitzpatrick. Melissa Ann Gerard. Darren Jing. Rachel Elizabeth Hinchcliffe. Christina Lacey. Rachel Marie Longbottom. Rebecca Louise Madden. Kirsten Nesbitt. Kelly Louise O'Hare. Anne Catherine Oaten. Faye Scott. Sarah Louise Passanjo Stokes. Lynn Rebecca Sumner. Daniel Matthew Sweeney. Danielle Thurlow. Gillian Victoria Turner. Postgraduate Certificate in Specific Learning Difficulties Dyslexia, Catherine Louise Armett. Sian Elizabeth Connell. Lynn Elizabeth Eckersley. Rebecca Lucy Hayes. Michelle K. Holgarth. Fiona Hunter. Sarah Catherine Jackson. Diane Marie Lloyd. Christine Ruth Colin Roberts. Christine Robiliard. Catherine Ann Smith. Daksha Uttamalal. Jane Walpole. Anne Jean Worrell. Vice-Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of students.
That's a lot of applause, but we've only made so far one award. Perhaps we should do the others. By the authority vested in me as the Vice-Chancellor of Edge Hill University, I hereby confer the Edge Hill University Awards for which you have been presented, and I congratulate you all. Wave those caps.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a song for our graduating class of 2019, will you please welcome Miss Lucy McHale.
see the sunrise from my window. It must have risen every day, but I couldn't see at all. The shadows were too tall, but I'm seeing it today. And I could hear the people speaking, but couldn't hear a word they say, just the echo of it all, passing through an empty hall. I'm hearing it today. Because the world keeps turning, and I guess it always will. I can choose to turn around, or I can choose to just stand still. Either way, nothing stops another day. I know I have to let go of a life I'll never know. Hard as it may be, and try to understand instead. There's another life ahead. Because the tallest mountain cannot stop the smallest stream. Winter can't hold back the spring, no matter how dark it may seem. Come what may, nothing stops another day. Come what may, nothing stops another
Thank you very much to Lucy. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the ceremony, ladies and gentlemen. Can I now direct you back to the central campus, where there are refreshments available in the hub area. Please have a safe journey home, and I now declare that this ceremony is closed.